Good morning, my name is Carol Harmer. I'm the owner and founder of Charmer Trading, Charmer Charts, and working in collaboration with ITI, the International Trading Institute. Now what we're going to do this morning, I'm just going to take a look at the Bitcoin market because, that's the one that's been running around quite a bit, and I can show you exactly how you could have traded this technically. Now you can see from this point here in April where it double bottomed, you can see that we've been in quite a strong uptrend. Now when you have this sort of pattern, you can put on a trend line. Now it's not set in stone trend lines. You have to eyeball the market, if you like, and just see, are there 2 or 3 points where you can draw a line? And you can see from this, yes, there is. Now, when you're in an uptrend, a pattern like this, where you've got lower highs and lower lows, is usually a bullish pattern, okay? But you need to wait for the breakout on something like this. There are patterns that you can preempt, which I did many times, but there are patterns or trend lines, especially at all-time highs, where it's just impossible to be able to trade it unless you see a break. Now if you remember rightly, I have been going on about it's got to break at least 3 times and stay above it, right? So when it broke here, it didn't stay above it. When it broke here, it didn't stay above it. Nor there, nor there, nor there, nor there. There's your buy signal. Okay, there. Or if you want to be panicky, I think that's a word, you buy there, okay, on that breakout, on that high that we saw there on the 25th. So where do we go from here with Bitcoin? How do we use, when we have no data, how do we use where the market is going to trade to? What is it going to do? Why is it going to get there? How is it going to get there? It is quite easy if you are, if you've been used to trading technically. There are 2 ways you can do this. The first way you can do this is to do fib extensions, okay? So what you're doing is you're not using where the market's going to retrace to, you're going to be using where the market is going to go to. Now there are 2 sets I can put on here. One here to there, and another one, shorter term one, from the break of trend line to there. Now that looks all a mess, I agree, okay, but if you take notes down and you can something the levels, I mean, I've just muddled them up there because I wanted to show you something that how it could be done in the short term. So let me take these longer term ones off. You can see that the market has a reason to go higher. Now if you look at what it's done, when it backed away from making that high to close down at the lows, that really was a signal that we're in a corrective phase. But if you look, you can see that even in the corrective phase, it's been cuddled and kissed by the 9-day moving average, which is why I say you don't trade on moving averages. What you do with moving averages, you use them as support and or resistance. And it is quite amazing, to be honest, the amount of times that they work. I've used them for very many years now, and even for me, I go, should that really have, happened? But I'm of the old adage is that if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's what I would advise you to use them for. No other reason. We don't do crossovers, we don't do golden crosses, we don't do any of the things that the books will tell you, because if you're trading on a book, off of a book, you're not trading practically, you're trading theoretically, and you can't afford to trade theoretically in a moving market if you're in the market, okay? So you look for the things that you know are going to work. Now, another way of doing this is pivot point analysis. I've gone on and on, as I've said, about pivot points before. I'm going to run out of time on this Bitcoin video. But if you take the high, low, close, open of a month, of the week, of the day, you get 3 sets of pivot points. Now the pivot points will then promote the market to trade towards them. And obviously if the pivot point analysis ties in with one of the Fibonacci extensions, then traders will feel much more confident of taking profits at that level, of taking a new position if it breaks that level. And that's what it's all about. You've got to have the right mindset. You've got to not be scared of the market. I think most of the traders that I know that have failed is because they're scared of the market, because it's different when you're doing it your way and you're on your own, by a screen, by yourself, and you're looking at whatever's going on Twitter or whatever system news system you're using, and it's difficult. I would find it very difficult if I was starting off now. But because I started right at the very beginning, it's easy for me to have it in my mind what the crowd is doing. And sometimes you go with the crowd, sometimes you're a contrarian trader. If I just go back to Bitcoin, you can see that there was a real struggle at this line, at this trend line. Okay, now I can go into measuring patterns to make you see what the overall target would be in Bitcoin. You can see that all of the indicators have come off of their extreme overbought levels. And what you must understand is this: RSI's momentum stochastics work really, really well in a sideways market. They do. If you're in a trending market, what does an RSI do? It's a relative strength index. So the higher it is, the stronger the trend. And you'll find that if the market then starts to go sideways, you shouldn't go down past the 50% level on the RSI. That shows you that that trend is still in place and it's fine for you to buy around support, resistance, fib levels, pivot points, blah, 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 moving averages. All those, if they all come in together and the RSI comes down to 60, 50%, we're still in an uptrend. So go with it, all right? Don't be scared. We're here to help. So if you just like to like and subscribe to our button, we'd be most impressed. I'm very happy. and I will be doing videos for you on a more regular basis now. Okay, well, good luck, and I'll catch you all later.